Hi there, it's Tina. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make something, but first I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I'm making the thing that we're making. So there's this organization called Operation Christmas Child, and what it is once a year, this organization collects shoe boxes full of items and gifts that they give to children in other countries who might otherwise not be receiving any kind of Christmas gift. Along with that, whenever they do give these gifts, there's a ministry aspect to it, and so they have like church services and stuff they invite families to, and then when they come, they can get a shoe box for their children, and these kids get to open them and they get different kinds of gifts in them. They range all the way from like babies all the way up to, I believe, 14-year-olds can get these shoe boxes filled with gifts like school supplies, just toys, hygiene items like hairbrushes, toothbrushes. It's just a real blessing to be able to pack these boxes and then send them off to this organization who then distributes them all over the world. So we've been doing this for, I can't even tell you how many years. We've been doing it for several years. Each year we as a family pack shoe boxes for different age children. The kids help pack, but I will say I am a clearance shopper. So I am shopping all year round for these shoe boxes. Last year, I believe we sent, it was either 24 or maybe 30 boxes. I can't remember, but I clearance shop the whole year round so that we can get really nice stuff for these kids, but at a reasonable price so that we are able to pack as many boxes as we can. One thing that we're gonna be making today though, and it seems a little weird to be putting in these boxes, but these are reusable pads for girls. So it's, it's like a maxi pad, but it's reusable. And one reason that I like making this, I learned how to sew like 2 or 3 years ago, just so I can learn how to make these, so that I can put them in our shoe boxes. So there's, in other countries, girls can't necessarily just run to the grocery store and buy feminine products. I can't talk. Feminine products. And so a lot of the time when girls are menstruating, they can't go to school because they don't have something, to take care of that issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to easily make these reusable pads. And usually we send a couple pairs of underwear in each box for the girls that are that have an age range. So for this would go in a box for a girl aged 10 to 14. We usually send a couple pair of underwears in there, underwears. So the cool thing about these is they have snaps. So you'd put them in and then they would snap them around the bottom of their underwear like that so they stay secure and don't move. So the first thing that I did, I'm doing them a little bit different this year. I've done them in the past with like old towels, you cut them up, but I've read and learned a little bit more. And a better way to do it is to use this material, this is a waterproof mattress pad. And so it's actually pretty big. I think I paid like maybe $14 for the whole thing. So I'm gonna get a lot of, I'm gonna be able to make a lot of pads out of these. So I found an online template that I use for the pad. So this is gonna be the pattern that I use for the inside pad. It's waterproof. And so what I already did this part, is I traced a bunch of these on here like so. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these out and then I'll show you, we're gonna make them double-sided because once you sew it in, you really can't tell which is top or bottom because you can do them either way. So we're just gonna make it double-sided. So there's gonna be a waterproof layer in the middle no matter which way you turn it. So we're gonna start by, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. We're gonna cut these out like so. These are my fabric scissors. They work great. And then we're gonna sew 2 of these together, but we'll get there here in a little bit. So we're gonna start by cutting that out. And the nice thing is it's kind of stitched in the middle, so it's not gonna like come completely apart whenever you cut it. So we're gonna do like so. Like that. Okay. There's one side. It really doesn't have to be perfect because it's going inside the pretty fabric. And so this is the waterproof layer right here, which is gonna go in the middle. So I'm gonna cut out a second one. Like so. And like I said, this mattress pad was like, I think it was $13, and I'm gonna get a lot of these out of it, which is nice. And they can reuse these, so once they need to, you gotta go rinse it out. So I'm gonna probably try to put 2 of these in each of the boxes that we give to the 10 to 14-year-old girls. So there's one available to use while the other one is being washed or dried out. And then they don't have to worry about missing school because they don't have feminine products. So this is like something really cheap and easy to make, and I wanted to learn how to sew, so it's something really easy that I've learned to make, and it is such a useful thing that I think we a lot of the time take advantage of here in America. So what we're gonna do, I got my 2 sides like this, and then I'm just gonna go here in a few minutes and I'm just gonna sew them together so that the waterproof is in the middle on both sides. I am not a great sewer, but the nice thing is that nobody really sees these, and they go in underwear, and nobody's really gonna see them there anyways besides the person using it. So you don't have to be great at sewing, and as you will see here in a few minutes, I am not great at sewing, but that's okay. So there we have the first step. Okay, we are now here at the sewing machine. So y'all don't laugh at me too hard when you see my sewing skills because they're not great. And I'm probably gonna have to rethread this thing a little bit, but that's all right. So remember, I'm gonna put the 2 green sides together because that is like the waterproof layer. It's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be beautiful. That's okay, this part really doesn't have to be. So I'm gonna clamp this down here. It's already threaded, but it's probably gonna come unthreaded because it does every dang time I sew. It's fine, it's just, I'm really not great at sewing, and I've tried to learn, and I'm just not great at following directions. So I'm gonna try it. So now the green is in the middle on both sides, so no matter which way it is worn, it's not going to go through to like their clothing. Well, it shouldn't. That's the idea, right? It shouldn't go through to their clothing. It should get stopped in the middle layer. So there's that. See, you see my stitching? It's not bad. It's not great. It's not terrible. Okay, on to the next step, which is cutting the fabric. I got some really cute fabric. Oops, turned off my light. It's a touch light. I got this really cute fabric from Hobby Lobby. So I think I'm gonna start with this one. This is like a gray. I read that you can use like flannel, but I couldn't really find flannel. The flannel that I found was like flannel, like pajama flannel, and I don't think that's the right kind of flannel. So I got cotton. It's better than nothing, and it's pretty. So, you know, it might stain, but you gotta wash it anyways, and it's kind of what it's made for. So I will show you how to do the cutting of the fabric and the template that I use for that. All right. All right, it is now time to do the fabric and the template. Okay, so this is a template I found offline along with the liner. So the liner part that we just did was like the centerpiece right here. Yeah, so this kind of gives you some instructions. So the front and back, yeah. So we're just gonna trace it. That's all I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna trace on the back of the fabric. I got half a yard because it looked like it was gonna go pretty far. And then I got a half a yard of the other one because I'm like, I couldn't make up my mind which fabric to use because they're both cute. But I'm gonna try to put 2 in each one anyway, so they'll get 2 different designs. So I got my Sharpie here. I'm just gonna use like a light colored Sharpie. And then I'm just gonna trace this as purple. You're really not gonna see it anyways because it's gonna be sewn in. I'm just gonna trace it like that. Oops. Like that. Good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm trying. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here. I wonder if I should maybe flip it like that. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't think it really matters. It should be the same. So we're just gonna do it like that. Like that. And this fabric was from Hobby Lobby and it was on sale. It was like 40% off. So I think I paid like not even $3. I think it was like 2 something for this half yard. And it's cute. So I should probably go back and get some more because it was so cheap. And it was pretty. I did read, because I'm on like a group, Operation Christmas Child group of people who like make these things and they give you suggestions and stuff. I did read one time that not to get anything with like animal, like face, don't get anything with faces, like people faces, character faces, animal faces. In some countries that might be kind of weird or like a no-no thing to do. I don't know, to put in, to use it for that purpose. So I just go with like floral or like a cute design, just, you know, to be on the safe side. You never know what kind of rules or religions might not want certain things used for certain things. I don't know. So we just want to be respectful and conscious of that. So floral always seems to be safe. Can't go wrong with just like a nice floral print. It's already, you know, not the prettiest thing to have to deal with every month. So why not just make it pretty with like flowers and pretty things. I don't know. So I'm going to cut these out and then comes the fun part. It's not the fun part. It's the more difficult part. You got to sew these together. And that's not hard, but then you have to be sure to fit the liner inside. And then the part that I always mess up on is making the little, there's a word for them, the little snapper things. There's a word for them. I'm gonna think of it in eventually. But the little snapper things that they snap, I always tend to put them on backwards. And that's frustrating because they're not super easy to do. But the last time I made one, I actually did it right the first time. Because you have to like make them like, be sure they snap the right direction, but you have to like put them on kind of backwards. It's a whole thing. I will get to that here in a little bit. But for now, there's one pretty little fabric. Then I'm gonna cut out the second one. I won't make you sit here and watch me cut out the second one because that's kind of boring. So I'll come back here in a minute whenever we do the sewing of the two. All right, we are back at the sewing machine. I have my 2 patterns here that should be identical. So I'm just going to line them up. And you know what's a little bit helpful? I forgot, oh, you know, no, it does matter because that's slightly off. So make sure they line up, yeah. It does matter which way, because I think the top is a little bit off. I'm gonna open the door for my dog. They're a big fit back there. Here she comes. I apologize if they start like rustling in the background because they like to do that. I'm just gonna go mess with my stuff over there. Okay, so I'm gonna line these up the best that I can. Something that's a little bit helpful is to maybe pin it. It's like at the top. Kind of page a little bit. You're gonna want to leave space at the top open, so don't sew it all the way. I'm gonna start sewing. That's the dog. So I'm gonna start sewing like over here, and I'm gonna go all the way around until about over here because I'm gonna need to leave an opening for this. And you know what I just realized? I did this backwards. What I wanna do is I actually forgot, because I want it to look pretty. You're gonna sew it like this so that the print is inside. And then when we're done with that, we're gonna flip it so that the stitching is pretty. All for the glory of God, even if it's not perfect, right? Okay, I think we sealed off, I think all the edges were good. It's probably like a first. So now I have it like this. Now I want to flip it inside out. So we gotta fit this inside of here. So hopefully we didn't just, I don't know. It's a little close. We may have to trim. I'm just gonna go ahead and trim a little bit off because I can already tell it's gonna be a little close. That, and then I'm just going to sew up the bottom. So I kind of like just fold it over itself like that. Fold it in as much as I can, and then I flip this piece. I'm just gonna like, well, I'm gonna flip it into like that. I just made extra string because I'm a little messy. You know, it's not the most beautiful thing, but it's functional, okay? So we have that. Now I'm gonna show you the part that is hard. So stay tuned. All right, I am back. We are doing the last step to finish off these reusable pads. I can't remember what these are called, but they're the little snappy things. And then you need this snappy tool thing. There's a name for it. I don't know. I ordered it off Amazon. So what you do is you get, okay, I swear I'm gonna do this backwards. So you need one side that has like the little, can you see that? One side has like spikies, and then the other side is flat. And then the other one is like the circle. And this is the piece that the other piece like snaps into. So I'm just gonna try it out first with the little snappy, because, oh man, here's the little snappy thing. See, it's got the little circle on top, and I think it goes like that. No, it doesn't. It goes, I don't remember actually. I should find the one I just, let me get the one that I just did, because I feel like I'm gonna do it backwards, because I always do them backwards. Here we go. Okay, yes. This is what I need. This is what I already did, so I can actually see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so yes, that piece is gonna go up. They look so dang similar that it's kind of hard to tell. So that piece goes up. So if you want it to go up, the piece that you want up has to face up. So you set it in there like that, and then you need one of those little claw pieces. I think I dropped it on the floor, and that is really gonna hurt if somebody steps on that. Problem for later. Okay, so we're gonna get one of these little spiky pieces right here, like that, and then you're gonna have the spiky pieces facing up, and they kind of just set in there. We gotta be careful so it doesn't move. Okay, so the first one doesn't really matter as much. You just have to make sure the second one matches. So you're gonna kind of get in a little bit like that, and then you just push really, really, really hard. As hard as you can. It hurts my hand. I feel like they probably have better ones of these, but this is what I bought. Clamp, clamp, clamp. Okay, so it should look like oh, it didn't work. This other piece is still in here. Okay, I didn't do it hard enough. We're gonna try again. Now this one is probably no good because the spikes are bent. Sometimes it's just like trial and error. We're gonna try again. I'm gonna try another spiky one. Okay, so the other piece is like still in there. So I don't know why that didn't come out. We're gonna new spiky piece. That one's in there, but maybe it's in there a little too good. Okay, we're gonna try again. I'm gonna clamp it as hard as we can and hope that both pieces come out. That one's not coming out. I don't know why that's not coming out. Why do you hate me? See, that piece is,
This one is no good. It's like in there too far or something.
Now that's just stuck. Boo, you were a bad one. Let me try again. What that one said. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can like, that one's in. I'm just gonna pretend that I didn't. I'm gonna line it up the best that I can and see if I can get it to work with this one. This is like the hardest, this is the hardest part, is getting these clamp things. So I'm gonna work on this and then I'll come back in a minute when I figure it out. Then the circle part should be here and the flat side should be on the opposite. Okay, so there's my snap. So I'm gonna snap it like so. Oops. Snap it like that. Just like that. And that is how you make a reusable pad. So you would snap it around the inside of the underwear. There you go. That's how you do it.